Hi everyone. For today's lab, for today's at-home lab, you are going to need your kinetic sand, the measuring cup, a knife or something with a flat edge, and a spoon. So when measuring and measuring different ingredients, they all have to be measured in different ways. Today we're going to be talking about our dry ingredients. So the first one we're going to work with is flour, or kinetic sand, but today it's going to be pretend flour. When we measure out flour, you want to scoop the flour and then shake it in, because when measuring flour, you want air to be a part of your measurement. If you were to just scoop this up without allowing that air to be a part of the measurement, your pastries or whatever you're using the flour for will become much more dense, because more flour means more gluten buildup, which we will talk a lot more about as we get into breads and pies and all of that. So here I'm just sprinkling it in, allowing that sand to be a part of my measurement. Once I have overflowed the cup, I'm going to take the back end of I'm using a knife, a kitchen knife, and I'm going to go in the middle, and I'm going to swipe back, and some will fall off, and that's good. And then I'm going to swipe forward. So you'll see here that there's still air incorporated. It's not packed down. So when I go to dump this out onto my board, it should just loosen out like that. It was not packed down. It should hold no shape. I want you to measure, and I want you to take a picture of it in the measuring cup with its air. Isn't this fun to just play with? Allowing air in there. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. So you're going to take a picture, flat half, I go in the middle, I swipe back, I go forward, like so. So I have a nice flat surface. I want you to take a picture of it like this in your measuring cup, and then a picture of it like that. And you're going to post both of these pictures in the Draw With Me on the Nearpod. For the next one, we're going to pretend this is sugar, white processed sugar. For white processed sugar, we are just going to put it in. We're not worried about air, but we're also not packing it down. We're just putting it in. And this is something, if out of your container that's at your lab, you can just scoop it right out. We don't need any air in there, but we also don't want to pack it down. And then we are going to swipe back and swipe forward. And you're going to take a picture of your sugar like this. And then when you dump it out, it's going to hold its shape a little bit, but you can see that there is cracks and air in there. So I want you to then take a picture of this. Last but not least, we're going to do something called brown sugar. Brown sugar is processed sugar that they have put the molasses back in. So white processed sugar, they have siphoned the molasses out of the sugar cane as it's been processed. And then they take that white sugar and they put the molasses back in it to make it brown sugar. So brown sugar tends to be a lot stickier. It's also oftentimes a lot sweeter. So when we do brown sugar, we are actually going to pack it in there. You want to really pack your brown sugar in. So that means I'm also going to need more. So you're going to pack it down there, really press hard, just like you're making a castle at the beach. So really pack it in there as much as you can. Pack it down. Now you can use your spoon for this. I love the feel of the kinetic sand, so I'm using my hand. But once I have it packed and overflowing, I'm going to, just like before, take my knife, half, sweep back, half, forward. Now you will see the difference in the fact that this is nice and smooth. You don't see any air or anything at all in there. And this is a lot heavier than the other two were. So you'll take a picture of your brown sugar with no holes, nice and smooth, and then hopefully it comes out. Your brown sugar like this. It should hold its shape. The molasses acts just like the kinetic sand, the oil in the kinetic sand acts, where it is holding that sand together and forming that beautiful little peak to your sandcastle. So you'll take a picture of your in the cup and then out of the cup. You can come back and reference this video as many times as you need because this is a self-driven Nearpod, but you need to post the pictures of you doing all three in your measuring cup. Now, clean up. You want to put everything that you can back in the bag because we will need the kinetic sand for another lab on another day. So please do not discard this or throw it out. Keep it safe in the bag. With the oil in here, it likes to collect, things. So make sure you're doing this on a clean surface. Obviously, you're not going to get every bit and piece. That's okay. Just get as much as you kind of can. Place it back into the bag, seal up your bag, and put it away and save it for another day along with your measuring cup because you will need it for another lab. I'm then going to come over and wash my hands because they're oily. As well as wash all of my utensils with soap and water. Wash and dry all of my utensils. And that is the end of your measuring cup lab. This is due by Friday at midnight.